Another use of this is to project text onto a curved surface. So I have a oil tank primitive and a number 5. The number 5 is made of a text spline object and a loft NURBS. So if we go to wireframe view, we can see that the geometry here is pretty regular, and I've done that. So just use a subdivided spline with a maximum length, sort of matching the tessellation that you want, and you can achieve this sort of effect. Now, once we have this, we're going to turn off the loft NURBS because the geometry here will actually get in the way of the projection. It's kind of strange, but it happens. And we take our text object and press C to convert it to an editable object. Now if we go to the point view, we see that we still have some large gaps here where there's no points, and that won't work because this point will get projected down and this point will get projected down, and then this line will just run through the surface. That's not what we want. So I can right click this text object and say current state to object. Now what that'll do is make another text object where all of the interpolated points are sort of created. That's the one we want. So I'm going to delete the first text object, and the second text object with all or none of the points selected, I'm going to choose project, and I'm just going to use the view option in this case. So I want to make sure I'm looking at it at the right angle, and then I just press apply. And we can see that all of the points are now sticking to the surface. So we're almost there. We can turn our loft NURBS back on, where we see we now have geometry on the surface. We can convert our loft NURBS to an editable object, and then we can do whatever we want with the geometry. So in this case, I'm going to select all and extrude. And because the extrusion takes the angle of origin into account, we get a nice number 5 that is stuck to the surface like that. So we can select all and reverse the normals, and then change the Phong smoothing so it actually has an angle limit of about 60 degrees. And if we deselect everything, we can see we have a really good looking number 5 projected perfectly out of the surface. So I hope this tip was useful to you. The project spline can be pretty handy for creating effects like this.